Hello, Senior Stoner fan. Just the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Sourcevapes Bolt mini e-nail with Magic Flight Orbiter dab of the day. I'm liking this device. Hello, everybody. Today's Thursday. Thanks for joining me. As always, if you enjoy today's video, please, you know what to do. Join the family with a subscription, hit the like button, or send me a comment. I reply to all of them. Let's get started with the topic. Unfortunately, I build these topics out of real life, and it's a tough one today. So we're going to talk about the invisible disability and how to move through life with chronic pain. Let's get started. Well, friends of mine, when I was younger, let's say I was in college, kind of said to me that I had made up health condition because my IBS started then. They said, you look fine, Senior Stoner. So at that time, pain was only an occasional visitor to my body rather than a permanent tenant, which it's become. Still, I was offended. Not just because it's me. I was offended because I'm thinking of all those poor people with silent illnesses. Illnesses like fibromyalgia. Illnesses that wrap your body with pain and nobody can see it from the outside. So let's move forward to today. Now, everything I do because of my situation takes time. Takes me time to put my clothes on. Takes me time to get into bed. Takes me time to leave the house. So I take what I call a gradual approach to my life. And I haven't been enlightened to this point. It's not about mindfulness. It's about pain. Or more specifically, about my lifelong, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week mission to evade it or minimize it. To minimize, frankly, is the key. Because I've learned, and many of you know, it can't be avoided. The pain, at least not entirely, no matter what I do. For me, chronic intractable pain has become a difficult default diagnosis. A catch-all phrase the doctors slapped on me to encompass all my health issues that have begun to persistently plague me. I received the diagnosis even as the imaging showed degenerative disc disease and many other issues. Well, unfortunately, it spread like a spider web continuing to wrap through my body, through my organs, to my toes, to my nose. And as this happened, I began to think and learn a little bit more about my disability. But my doctors, the same ones who've been treating me, who diagnosed me, who view my MRI results, all shake their heads. And they say, you know what? You just have chronic intractable pain, regional nerve syndrome. There's nothing we can do. Now, fast forward 20, 40, 45 years later. And doctors, some people still say to me when I go in with my cane and limp in to get a procedure, wow, you look great today. I wanted to smack them, okay? Now, they'll say to me, gee, your hair looks great today. They'll say to me, gee, Senior Stoner, how wonderful it must be to look as good as you look. And I'm just getting tired of it, frankly, because I've heard of an extensive list from every type of doctor there is why, despite my test results, which show all the stuff that fell apart and everything else, okay, I'm too young for this to happen. I have teeth in my mouth still. You're not obese. You shouldn't have back problems. Well, you know what? That hasn't granted me immunity from my illnesses. And it has not prevented my pain. So, the last 20, 10, maybe even 5 years, medical research has started to catch up with people like me, with people suffering chronic pain for a long time. Now, people The doctors have discovered that pain can endure long after an illness or an injury that caused its initial onset, and that it devolves, doesn't evolve, it devolves into its own illness. That's right. So pain, pain is no longer indicative of something else, another prognosis. Guess what? It's its own prognosis. And I'm here to tell you, as are millions of other people, it's debilitating. Specifically, under the strain of prolonged pain, nerves in the body become super sensitized to pain signals. Let's just face it. So anything can amplify them. And once these changes occur, it's almost impossible for them to be undone. So, what does this mean for me? It means that until I have come to the understanding of what's gone on, I kept fighting for a solution, for a change. Now, only now, and I consider myself a pretty wise patient / doctor for this, only now am I beginning to come to grips with the reality. That's right. I have finally been validated. I'm a pain patient. Let's face it. Okay? Now I've got to find a way to get a better quality of life for myself. I've got to find a way to stop feeling miserable and maybe start being happy. Yes, there are times we all want to sit in bed and cover our eyes and lock the door. Being miserable is no fun. Misery is a passive activity. So, there are some steps that we can use to prevent ourselves from falling into the rut of misery due to things like chronic pain that doesn't go away. Stop isolating yourself. Humans don't just survive, we thrive on other human contact. Every single one of us needs a support system. Family, friends, colleagues, the paper delivery boy, the waitress who served you lunch at the diner, the person who put your gas in. Whoever it is that you're going to chat with, stop isolating yourself and don't reject help when it's offered. And stop being a people pleaser. There's a good chance we spend a lot of our time trying to make sure everyone around us in our circle is happy. Don't. In fact, maybe start pissing people off. I kid you not, that might be a good thing for you. It means you're doing something right. Our self-worth shouldn't be dependent on the acceptance of others. We need to stop comparing ourselves. We, you, I, we are our own person, period. We need to stop viewing others as our standard or reference, or more importantly, our standard of happiness. Stop worrying about them. Start living. Everybody says this, and it's a cliche, I know. But there's some truth to it. Most people spend their days dreaming of the future or reflecting back in nostalgia. Screw that. Let's have fun now. I should go fishing. I should take Sugar outside. I should get into bed and let her lick my face. Sugar, stop digging. Thank you. But you can't miss out on the life in front of you because you're too busy stuck in the clouds. Find a strategy for yourself. Grab a whiteboard and a pencil. Don't live just in the moment, nor stay stuck in the past. Live for yesterday, live for today, and live for tomorrow. For goodness sake, start talking to yourself already. That's right. Not that way. But have you ever noticed how some people always seem to have the black cloud follow them around? Well, whenever you talk, it's like another bad thing happening to them. Is it a coincidence? It is. Well, how are you going to talk yourself? How are you going to treat yourself? Well, you know what? Don't talk down on yourself or you're going to feel down. Looking at things badly, things will end up badly. Here's the kicker. Instead of focusing on the bad things going on around us and becoming more positive, become more accountable instead. That's right. Change the things you can while removing yourself from the things you can't. Ta-da! And be bold as you can. Don't sit waiting for things to happen. Make noise. Take action. Make it happen. Keep doing nothing, and you will keep receiving nothing. Determine what it is you want out of life, and for God's sake, let's try to go get it. And be real with yourself. Don't attach yourself to an end result, because expectation leads to disappointment, and disappointment leads to spotty effort, and spotty effort leads to failure. Consistency is the name of the game here. And there's nothing wrong with a long-term goal. Just set short-term expectations that you can actually hit. And remember Lou Gehrig. The string of small victories will propel you forward. He was the inventor of the Texas Leaguer, the single, okay? And with all this, with all the horror and the pain, as I sit here in 9/10 pain wiggling in my own body, start believing. We live in a cyclical world, and it comes around. And when you get to that top, just like a Ferris wheel, you get two things when you go over: hope and opportunity. So if you invest your life into something fragile, don't feel destroyed once it breaks. Think about what I'm saying. If you equate your self-worth with things like your job title, your salary, or external factors, what happens when that goes away? So it's a time and an opportunity for us to start believing, stop Shuggy, in ourselves. That's right. With all the pain we endure, my golly, we're strong people. We might be the strongest people out there. Stop Shuggy. We might be the strongest people out there. There might not be a stronger person in the world than the people watching this video, because we understand what it is to be in pain. Here we go for our hit on our Sourcevapes bolt. Here we go. We're hitting it on the blue temperature. I'm on auto setting, and it's warming up. Give it about another 5 to 10 seconds, and I think we will have vapor. Here we go. Cheers. Look at that puppy fill up. That's why the orbiter's a cool thing. You're literally pulling cotton balls down. Excellent. Pardon me. Excellent flavor and taste from the bolt. This has been the Real Senior Stoner, talking about how we're going to make it through the horrible pain we're in and how we can all do it. Cheers, everybody. Stay strong.